It is that time. I now call this week's show to order. Welcome to another edition of Kiwanis Connects. This is the Happy Halloween, the night before we turn the clocks back an hour, Eve edition of Kiwanis Connects. That's right, October 31st. We are down to 2 months left of 2025. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Aaron Phillips in Virginia Beach. And of course, I'm joined not by just one, but two lovely ladies today. Of course, my co-host, Doc Val, joins us. And of course, our extraordinary guest of the day, current Lieutenant Governor, Ms. Judy Goad. Ladies, how are you doing?
Doing well, doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Doc Val, what's shaking where you are?
You know, I just watched the odometer click over to over 6,000 miles in the past 31 days. And I can just tell you, OMG, October has been a month. And
my goodness.
Right now I am sitting in a beautiful suite with some of my friends that I'm going to bring on a little bit later.
All right.
But wow, just wow. And so Lee Kuan Yeung, I know you're watching. Kiwanis is amazing. It's just
Absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. Can't wait to hear all about it. We got an action-packed show today. We're going to spend time with Judy. We got a revolving door of guests with Val over there. We've, of course, got mental health moment with Melissa Atwell. We got wow moments. We got Val on the road. Today's bad dad jokes. We're going to cross-reference the last of the Halloween themed, but also, believe it or not, I actually fished out some jokes about the changing of the clocks. So we're going to have a little mixed bag of jokes. So hopefully, Judy, I don't know. I don't know if I recall requesting Judy to be prepared with some bad mom or dad jokes, but if you can during a break, feel free to pull up a Google window and Google yourself a couple of bad dad jokes. We always ask our guests to participate. I may have neglected to ask you to do that with the week I've had. But anyway, everybody listen, if you're watching us on Facebook, you know the routine. Kiwanis Connect show page, WWDB-TV Las Vegas, WVBV-TV Virginia Beach. Same 3 channels over on YouTube. And exciting, starting this Sunday, November 2nd, hopefully after you've adjusted your clocks back an hour, 7 a.m., go to dbtv.tv, or you can watch on Roku, Amazon Fire for DBTV, and Kiwanis Connects will debut right there on DBTV Network, 7 a.m. local time. That is Eastern time, which, as Val pointed out last week, really helps our Asian Pacific folks, because what is that, about 2 in the afternoon or something for them? Who knows? But
actually 12 hours ahead. So it's 7 p.m. and they can just scooch right on in, and they would be loving it. So
perfect. There you have it. So exciting news. Another platform has picked our shows up, and I'm excited about that. So we got a lot going on. And so, Val, I'm going to turn it over to you. Why are you in a hotel room today?
Well, and since I've hijacked this hotel room, what better way to do this than to have Bob Larson, the Cal Neva Children's Fund Foundation president, who's a rock star. You will not believe how well we've done this year. And I wanted him to be on the show because we got to spend some time with our guest. But good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Val.
Hello, Bob.
Hi, can you see me? Oh, yeah, I see myself. Yeah, I see it.
There you go. You're there.
I'm here. Okay.
Look how handsome he looks. You've got Bob, beauty, tie, and everything. And you will not. And it's like Val's in jeans. And most people know that you don't ever really see me in jeans. But I'm so thrilled that we have our guest, and she allowed for us to come and hijack her DCM, or Division Council meeting, to do something really special. So I was hoping that Bob would talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to have Judy just jump right on in, because you really made a gift possible.
Yeah, and actually it was just a fantastic time, really hosted, and the whole show was run by Judy. She did just such a wonderful time, and I have never seen so much unified club spirit in a positive direction. I've seen it sometimes in negative directions, but it was just really, it was outstanding, an outstanding event. And just briefly, Judy was just really, she's so charged up, but I got to go along with Val and to make an award of our Tablet of Honor. It's the highest honor that we have within the foundation. And it's the only one actually award that you cannot purchase for yourself. And we gave it to an outstanding person, Ray Hacker, who has been a long time, for more than 34 years, member as an ambassador of the foundation. For 34 years, this is what he has done. For 34 years, he got every one of his clubs. And I think, Judy, is it like 12 clubs, something like that out there?
We are now at 11, but yes.
11? Okay, yeah. So 11 clubs, but it was higher at one time, to every year to buy at least one of our, I'm going to use the acronyms DSA, CSA, or YSA.
Distinguished Service Award, Youth Service Award, or Community Service Award. I got this. Got your back.
Okay. But anyway, and it's really outstanding, and it's a huge contribution to the foundation. And Ray, represents exactly the ideal, image and the work that he does of what an ambassador should be, because that takes work to get them every year for 34 years to buy those awards. So anyway, it was just outstanding to present that award to him. And his wife was there, and his daughter and her son. And it was really a great event. So anyway, with that, it's been an outstanding year for the foundation, and it's going to be even better this upcoming year. So with that, Val, if you have anything else you'd like me to talk about, I think that wraps up what I was going to say.
Bob is going to be a personality on his own show soon. So
I'm taking over I'm going to sit in for Val. That's the first step.
The name of the show would be Bob on the Road, because anytime
and actually it's Bob in the Air.
Bob in the Air, exactly.
Bob in the Air. And so Judy, it's just like, was that the first time you've ever been a part of giving a tablet of honor?
I had never heard about Tablet of Honor until that evening. That was actually my first DCM to plan. And to be able to plan it and have you and Bob and Claudia be there for Ray, who is so deserving and probably one of the hardest working Kiwanians I've ever met in our division and everywhere. But it just was such a great way to kick off our year. I was so excited to have you guys there. But yeah, I just thought, wow, we've really set the bar high for our division. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but I'm excited. But it was great to have you guys there and help us kick off my very first one.
You were fabulous. And that's one of the reasons why it was like all of a sudden I am such a Judy fan. And said, you have got to be on the show, because you modeled everything that I think a lieutenant governor, or in other countries they call it lieutenant governor, do. And the energy that you put into it and all of those fun things, and getting to know you, that's why you're here. Is it may have been your first rodeo, but it definitely didn't look like one. And
Thank you.
Absolutely. And so, Aaron, you haven't had a chance to really meet Judy, so I thought I might hand the ball to you, because otherwise I'll just run fangirl all over the place.
It's funny, because before you popped on before the show, Judy and I were getting a few seconds to catch up. We actually shared a table at one of the meals in August out at the convention. We did chat very briefly for a few minutes. But what I find amazing is, with all this excitement, that the professionalism that she brings, she's a lieutenant governor. You're only in Kiwanis for what? A handful of years, right? Like 5 or 6 years, not a whole lot of time per se in comparison to Val or myself or Bob, right? I mean, we're talking 5 or 6 years here.
We're talking 5 years, 2 years pre-COVID, and then it was in a great club then, a local club. Then COVID hit, and everything shuts down then. And
Sure.
For whatever reason, I did not get back into COVID until January of 2023. So this latest round, I'm going on my 3-year anniversary next year.
Right on, right on. So the question I'd like to ask newer members within Kiwanis, what was the aha moment for you 5 years ago, prior to COVID, when you said, Kiwanis is where I want to be to provide and do community service? Why Kiwanis?
Well, can I, instead of going back 5 years, can I actually tell you my why from 3 years ago?
Whatever,
That'd be awesome.
whatever
That,
is
that
best.
when I first started in Kiwanis pre-COVID, it really was to network. I was involved with a small community here in Kern County where my division is, and I wanted to network and I wanted to get to know people. And I met some very nice people in the Kiwanis Club, and I thought, oh, I want to hang out with them. And it was great, wonderful, wonderful people. But my aha moment actually came in December of 2022. I wasn't in Kiwanis at that time. I had been, knew what Kiwanis was all about, but I'd been asked to chaperone some children that were going to be going through a club's Christmas shopping spree. So I just was helping out a friend of mine who wasn't even in Kiwanis as well, but he had nominated some children to go be part of this special event. So I went thinking I would have one child, walk around and help them shop. And I love to shop. And when I'm spending other people's money, that's even better.
Mhm.
So I get there and I have a family of 4. It was a 12-year-old brother, 10-year-old brother, 8-year-old little sister, and a 6-year-old little sister. Well, the 12-year-old brother was very, very, he just was not going to let his siblings be separated. He was very concerned for them. He didn't want them to be separated. He wanted them all to stay together. So I did. I took 4 of them, had another helper. The 2 little girls and the 2 little boys, we went shopping. Those girls had absolutely no problem filling up that cart. Shoes, purses, dolls, dresses, whatever. The 2 little boys, though, the 12-year-old and the 10-year-old, were holding back. And I'm trying to tell them, it's okay. We're here to Christmas shop. This is for you. We're spending the money. Don't worry about it. I'll let you know when we reach your limit, but let's do some shopping. And they kind of hemmed and hawed. And finally they looked at me and they said, can we buy our dad a pot? And I looked at him, I said, sure. And come to find out, Dad is a single father of 4 kids. And every
Wow.
Christmas he makes tamales. And his pot had broke and he could no longer make Christmas tamales. I'm trying so hard not to cry in front of these kids. But my heart was just breaking. I was like, oh, they just want a pot. We can buy them a pot. So we did. We went over to the house goods section. We bought them the biggest pot you could find for their dad. Then I was able to get them to throw some toys and some other things in there for themselves, but they wanted to buy their dad something so he could continue to make tamales. I came home and I told my husband, I said, I got to get back into it. It's the kids. I want to help the kids. So I immediately called my old club and I said, hey, have you heard about this other club? And she said, oh, you'll do really well in there. They're very busy, very active. You'll like that group. So on January 10th, 2023, I was approved as a member and I've been hitting the ground running ever since. But that was my moment. That is my why. Why I'm in Kiwanis, why I came back. And I have a picture of those kids on my phone. And every once in a while, I go back and remind myself, this is why
Sure.
you're here. This is why you're doing what you're doing. You brought a smile to 2 little boys' face because they wanted to go Christmas shopping for their dad. And they don't know, they'll probably never see me again. And they have no idea how they've touched me. But because of them, I'm now doing what I'm doing.
I think that's a great story. And it's interesting what you just said there at the end. I don't think we really sit back and think about, yeah, we know what we do. We touch other people's lives. But when we have a chance to turn around and reflect back to us, what those lives have meant to us, I think is something that we never really talk a whole lot about as Kiwanians and what it does for, yeah, we know being a Kiwanian is great and we help others and yada, 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 but there are certain projects or certain people that we do touch within a project that we take with us, not only mentally, but in our hearts. And I think that was a critical component of what you just said there, along with sharing the story as to why it was important for you to get back in and how that family, those young boys touched your life. Forget as a Kiwanian, just as a human being.
Yes.
Right? I think that's important.
I agree. And I think, I encourage everybody when I talk to them, go back and revisit your why. What brought you to Kiwanis? You can be in it for so long, or life can get so busy, or things can get so crazy, you forget. And then it becomes almost, instead of a passion and a thrill, it becomes a job. And I don't
Mhm.
ever want Kiwanis to be my job. I want it to be my passion. So I revisit, especially Christmas time. I'm a huge fan of Christmas, and I revisit those boys, and I revisit that moment of walking around and shopping for a pot of all things. So.
And that's absolutely, phenomenal. And I had to put some Kiwanis in here. And part of that is we just got the numbers for Kiwanis International, and if we told a story like you shared your why versus always talking about meetings and talking about how much time we spend, um, people would want to join us in droves. Um, and so that energy, I think, is what's going to turn around our membership. So I'm going to put a little light out there because people don't realize this. But I've already gotten Judy to say yes to several different projects. I know you guys out there are surprised. Um, but Judy's one of the lights, and it's like that was 1,000 points of light that are out there. That when she shares her story, it just makes people want to be better human beings. And I saw that in your DCM. And so when we were at your DCM, one of the things you did is you have as a lieutenant governor, you have those 11 clubs, but you have a point of unifying people. Can you share a little bit about your passion project that you're doing to get your division working together?
Well, our theme for my division, it's sort of, if you could call it a theme, is collaboration. And I want to remind our clubs that we are one division working through 11 clubs. We are all of Kern County. And so what I tried to figure out was ways that I could say, okay, how can I bring us together without losing our individual personalities as a club, without losing our individual service projects, but to impact our community more with various sizes of clubs, various resources. But if we can come together, the end game is all the same. We're here for the children of our community. And whether I have a little bit of time and energy to give to your club, or your club has a little bit of resources to give to me, but let's come together and do something really good for our community. So for me, my pet project is reading. I love to read. As a child, I loved to read. You could just, I would lose myself in the pages of a book and become that character. And even as an adult, I love to read. And I'm old school. I have a library behind me of books. I actually open and smell and picture the books. So I got my husband, who is not a Kiwanian. He's my biggest supporter, though. He makes little free libraries for me. So he has made a couple of little free libraries, and I took the one to our DCM. And I had it up there on the thing, and I said, Kern County, where we live, where our division is, has some of the lowest literacy rates in the country. What can we do to bring that up? But also, what can we do to help children be children for as long as they can? That's very important to me. Let them be children for as long as they can. And how can we introduce them to the love of reading, get their imaginations going, and just kind of give them a spark, give them something to look forward to, give them something to own that is theirs and theirs alone. And that's through the little free library. So my husband is making them through my division, my key clubs, my Kiwin clubs. We're collecting books, but I kind of threw out there, hey, who would like to be the first club starting our new Kiwanis year to have a little free library in your area? And so it's totally made. I buy the plaque. I get them registered for them. It'll have their club's names on there. So that's a little bit of marketing as well. But then because we're Division 33, I give them their first 33 books to get that library up and running. Then I throw in a 34th book, which was my favorite book as a child that I would read, which was called Island of the Blue Dolphins. I loved that book and just takes me back to my childhood. But I'm trying to get at least half of my clubs to say yes to one little free library in their area. I'll help get it started, and let's just put a smile on those kids' faces. Let's pass out free books, and then let's just help increase the literacy without it looking like a classroom. Nothing against teachers or classrooms, but let's put some fun into it. When I was a little girl, I'd lay out on the front yard and read. I'd lay in the back seat of my mom's car and read. Just have some fun with reading and not realize that, oh, you're learning as you go along this fun journey. So yes, little free libraries are my passion. Reading is my passion. And I want to get as many books out there as we can.
Got to stop and take a quick break while we're at that point. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Just a quick reminder, we want to thank bookvending.com, Comfort Care, Home Care of Virginia Beach, Different Strokes 757. They were all proud sponsors of the Kiwanis Connect show. Quick shout out to Andre Lewis, Kathy, Delia, Chuggy, and everybody else that's in the chat room. We got a lot to go. More announcements regarding some upcoming events in March regarding a couple of California Kiwanis clubs. Some great news and things going around the globe. Don't go anywhere. A lot more to do here in Kiwanis Connects. We'll be right back.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchie's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Hey honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch a game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop. You know, I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. You know, I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest, dear.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life. All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Aaron Phillips, Doc Val, and Lieutenant Governor Ms. Judy Goad is with us, and we want to thank you for joining us today. We got a lot going on, so Doc, I'm going to turn it back to you because I know you got a cast full of characters there and some more stuff for Judy.
I do. And so Judy, one of our mutually favorite people is in the audience, and she's sporting her gear. So I wanted to invite Claudia, who's one of our district trustees, and it's just like, hi Claudia. It's like, love you back. Love you too. Love you, Judy.
Love you.
So
You too, Erin.
and you too, Erin.
This is a hug.
You know, so one of the things is we're Claudia, I, Bob, and a bunch of folks are here in Costa Mesa in Southern California because we're trying to raise money for our children's funds so that we can give out more scholarships and we can help with these book initiatives. There are all kinds of micro grants. And so, Judy, I was thinking, if you challenged each one of your clubs to actually apply for a $500 micro grant to help support those little free libraries that you're giving out, that would be really, really cool. And so one of the books that's out there, he's in the audience. And so I wanted to say, hey, Andre Lewis, I love you. And Andre's put together, it's called America 250. Correct, Aaron?
That is correct. I'm in the
Yes.
process of getting on the site to grab the book. hopefully.
Awesome. And so I really think that if we could throw in a 35th book where they could share this, Andre has put together this anthology of the history of service in America and he has with key clubbers involved in the book. And yeah.
I love that idea. I just wrote it all down. I love that. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you talked to, so Claudia, so since you're here, did you have any questions for Judy?
No, was commenting during the commercial break that I was so impressed with Judy at Lieutenant Governor training and realizing that she is in the Kern County area, and then realizing that I'm her trustee. And so when she asked me to go to that first DCM, it was already on my calendar. And then it was just a double surprise to be able to present that tablet of honor for Ray, the outgoing trustee. So I was just super excited to be there and get to witness how amazing your DCM went that day. It was so much fun. And the Little Free Library, what a great project. Good for you.
It's fun. It's something my husband and I are doing together, but it's my passion. And I had to brag on my husband. He made me a little model of a little free library, and I have little miniature books in it. So when I go out and do my presentations, or I go out and I do an information table at an event, which I did on Saturday, I take this little one that's easier to carry, and I just tell people what it's about, and I tell them what Kiwanis is about. And then I have some books behind me, and these kids will come up, and I'll ask them, do you like to read? And then I'll have them come over and pick out a book. So it's been a lot of fun. And my own granddaughter asked me if I could help her put one up in her where they live. So it's spreading, and that's what makes me excited. So.
It's really cool that you started with my favorite part about Kiwanis is celebrating others and celebrating achievements. And I don't think that many people realize you can celebrate all year long. And if you start with that, basically the division party and club party and move forward, it just puts an energy into an organization. Because remember that the feeling of that room,
Right.
And maybe you can explain it because I always get giddy.
Yeah, well, everybody was just super excited to be there. And of course, starting with the new lieutenant governor, there's a different kind of energy. And I think you just exuded so much positivity that it spread so well through the room. And then to, give the gift of a free library to a community, that's just awesome. And I can't wait to go find it.
Absolutely.
I know my husband and I like to, we got one in our neighborhood now, and he's just like, oh, I found another book for the grandkids, and I put other books in there, and the grandkids are loving it too, so it's very helpful to communities. It really, really is. And I'm just so thankful that you guys are doing that, and I can't wait to find out where they all are.
So one of the things I was going to jump in really quickly is most people who are watching, we've got people all over the world. This is a global show, and it's pretty cool. And so they don't really know what Kern County is in California. Most people, when they think of California, they think of where we are, where we have palm trees and the sun shines, and there's a Mercedes parked next to a Maserati in the parking lot here at the Marriott. And I was like, oh my goodness. But can you explain the demographics of your county? Because your demographics look just like Kathy Szymanski's in Erie, Pennsylvania. They look just like they do in Georgia. And I want to give our Daryl Gomes a shout out. So explain a little bit about that, because what you're doing is transferable.
Kern County. So I actually grew up in Southern California until I was 16. And when my mom made the announcement that we're moving to Bakersfield, I was like, what? You can't take me to that hick town. So let me give you a little bit of not only the demographics of Bakersfield and Kern County, Bakersfield being our biggest city, but of Kern County, is we are known as Nashville West. Think Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, they all started, here, and they helped start the country music scene here. But Kern County has changed in the last however many years it's been since I was 16 that we've lived here. But Kern County, we are mainly two different economies. We are agriculture and we are oil. So we provide a good portion of the agriculture across the world, grapes, pistachios, almonds, all kinds of things. You drive around Bakersfield, you could have a housing development on one street, and then just across the street, you can have an almond orchard. But we have expanded, and we have an amazing, diverse culture. We have our population, we have a large Hispanic population. We have a large Asian population. We have a large African-American. We are like a melting pot. People come to Bakersfield, I believe, for a couple of reasons. One, we are affordable. And two, we are really a friendly place. We are very kid-centered. I always remembered when my children were growing up, how big it was for Friday night football and sports, and get your kids in sports. So we're very big on that. But we also have a bit of a diversity that's not the most pleasant. You might have some areas of town that have the Maserati, and then you have other areas of town that you've got 3 or 4 families living in a very small home because that's all they can afford, or a very small apartment, and they're walking everywhere. The lower we have an area of need. The need in Kern County is huge with food. Insecurity, and it's sad because we have all this agriculture, but we have one of the largest numbers of food insecurity just because of the climate, the way things are right now. But in it all, Kern County is also one of the most giving communities I've ever been involved with. I've worked for nonprofits since 2013, done a lot of fundraising, done a lot of asks, and Kern County steps up to the plate. We care about our children. We care about the homeless. We care about our veterans. And that's what you will get in Kern County. You just get this diversity of backgrounds, and this diversity of education, and this diversity of lifestyle. And we just kind of intermingle, and we kind of live it together that way. And it is something that we're not just one cookie cut. We are not cookie cutter at all. I can tell you that.
No.
We are not a cookie cutter at all. We are more like a stew. You just keep throwing more and more in the pot, more and more vegetables and some meat in there. That's, to me, what I've grown up here. I've raised children here. I still live here. I have grandchildren now, and it's changing, and it's diversifying, and it's just fun. I mean, I enjoy living here. It's fun. It does. Now, I do want to tell you a little bit about Bakersfield. We are not the California that you picture, where we have palm trees and beaches. We have a river that is pretty dry most all the time, but we still call it the Kern River. But we are 2 hours from Los Angeles. We're 2 hours north from Los Angeles. We're 2 hours south from Fresno, and we're 2 hours east from the coast. So you can pretty much get anywhere. If you want to leave Bakersfield, go 2 hours in any direction, you will be somewhere. But we are a desert. We are a very dusty desert. But we're growing, and I want us to be. I love that we can. There's such a. I hate that there's such a need in our community, but I'm glad we can do something about it in our own little way. I can't meet every single need. I can't help every single person, but I can do what I can do within my circle. And right now, my circle includes 11 Kiwanis clubs from one end of our county to the other end of our county, and I want us to impact. I want Kiwanis to be a name that no one forgets. In a year or so, when we're done with this term and we're looking ahead at other things, I want them to have felt the Kiwanis touch.
You also have one of the
because you keep complimenting me, and my head's going to get so big, but that DCM was a collaborative event. I could not have done it without some wonderful people, past lieutenant governors, other clubs coming in and helping me. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that showed up. It was a great turnout, and to those that helped me put it on, and thank you so much. I might have been the one up there talking, but I had a whole crew helping me. So, and that's what I love about my division is I'm getting to know people, and I just love how they are there. They're there, they're there for each other. And I was going to say they're there for me, but that sounds a little conceited. So we're there for each other. So, and I'm hoping that we can continue that collaboration as we go through this year together.
You also
They're
have one of the
definitely a
best.
rock star division.
You also
Poor
have one of
Aaron.
the better, you also have one of the better shopping malls on Route 15 South, driving from Vegas on down to LA, that many people drive out to from Vegas when I live
Tejon
there.
Ranch. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Tejon
So
Ranch.
absolutely. All right, so a lot to go. So before we move forward, I want to ask the panel of ladies in front of me, because Val, it just seems like this season of Kiwanis Connects, we've done a lot of conversation about literacy. Everybody from Andre to Connor from book vending, Judy today. We know Douglas in the Literacy Club and all of that.
And
Why do
Paula
you ladies?
Price, yes.
What's that?
And Paula Price
Right,
with
Paula Price.
Getting Happy.
But
Mhm.
my question is, and because we're running up against our next break, I'm going to ask you ladies to give me an answer in about a minute each, why you think literacy has become such a forefront of conversation, not only in the Kiwanis world, but in the community as a whole, as to why we're providing such a huge, why communities now focusing so much on literacy. So whoever would like to start, give you one minute-ish on the clock for your answer.
Our guest first.
All right, Judy?
Oh, I think because literacy impacts every avenue of our lives. It impacts everything we do, everyone we come in contact, how we communicate, how we run our businesses, how we move through life. And if you're being held back or if you're being stifled, then you're not going to find that satisfaction with life. You're not going to find that fulfillment. So to be able to help people with literacy is a much broader picture for me. It's that pebble in the water. You help them with that, and it's going to impact their lives in so many other ways. If not now, then down the road.
Okay. Claudia?
Well, I personally feel that it's important to give an opportunity to children. So if it's a small thing like a little reading library, we're in a community, say, of farm workers in Kern County, or even, throughout the Central California, that part is super important because those communities don't usually have libraries. So if you think about what kind of impact that one little library will do in a community, it's important. So to give that gift of having a book in a child's home is important. Most of the time, low-income children don't have that. They have to get it from school, and that's the only time they have access to an actual book. So to give that is truly a great gift. So keep on giving it, Judy.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna wrap it up and with this. Literacy is the gateway to feeding your mind, body, and soul. And when you can read, you can change your situation, no matter what it is. And being able, you remember the old book bans, and we've read about all these things where only the very rich were allowed to read, and only men were allowed to be literate, or only people who were white aristocracy were allowed to read at different times. Is because reading is powerful. It is, as Douglas Chadwick has coined, a superpower. And you can literally be a kiddo sitting in a very dark van that you're living in, and with a flashlight, reading a book, and know that there is a possibility outside of this van. This is not your only situation. You can also know how to help your grandma take her meds so that she doesn't end up back in the hospital where you can't afford to make a choice between her meds and food. It's that simple. It is. Literacy opens doors. Literacy opens imaginations. Literacy keeps us healthy, and literacy makes us powerful. Because if you can read it and figure it out, then you have power of information. So that's why I focused in on this all year. And so, Aaron, thank you for letting this be the year of the literacy, the year of the author, the book. And we're going to keep on doing it because we got 2 more months.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with that, I'm reading the tea leaves right now, and that means it's time for a break. So we're going to take it a little bit early because we have so much more to do before we wrap up in the next 20 minutes or so. So everybody stay tuned. Kiwanis Connects will continue right after this message from our sponsors.
Good morning, my name is Alejandro Hogan, and this year I'm the president of the Kiwanis Club for Literacy in Salinas. We're a small club, but what we do is we believe in literacy, and what better way to promote literacy than to come to different schools.
We go to schools where there are 4 first grade classrooms. That way we are able to distribute us as members to go in each classroom and give that 30 minutes of enthusiasm for the students to read and become engaged on that book.
Our goal is that they get a book once a month and they take it home. It doesn't stay at school, so that by the end of the year, they have their own home library.
We need more people to believe in what we do, and we want you to join the Kiwanis Literacy Club of Salinas.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchy's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. You notice in my background, this is for Douglas Chadwick, who knows that I am a Batman aficionado. Just about everybody in the entire world knows that. Well, this past Monday at the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce was their big mega mixer networking event, and vendors were encouraged to wear costumes. And so I had a table there for The Voice, and that costume, with the exception of the cowl that I'm wearing, was the one that Douglas was kind enough to gift for me a couple of years ago after we were up in, I think it was the Reno Convention, Val, where Douglas and I kind of chatted, and I got home a couple of weeks later. There was this huge box of Batman stuff, and so there I am. I'm donning the costume. Where am I? I'm over here. I'm on this side. There I am. So now, you know what? Does Batman and Aaron show up in the same room together at the same time? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'll tell you what, I got a lot of great comments about wearing the costume, and it was a lot of fun. Of course, that cowl after 1 hour was much to have on. It was like listening in seashells to everybody. But anyway, thank you, Douglas. I do wear it. I did wear it. Thank you, Douglas. Looks good, Batman. I haven't decided if I'm going to wear that tonight in the cul-de-sac, or I did purchase a Hulk Hogan costume a couple of weeks ago. So may go as Hulk Hogan tonight and scare the kids as Hulk Hogan. All right. Real quickly, before we get back to our guest, John, if you'd please quickly pop up the Derby flyer. All right, folks, here in the Hampton Roads area, a week from this Sunday, November 9th, if y'all are into roller derby, flat track women's roller derby, Ghost Fleet roller derby is back at the Peninsula Family Skating Center, 307 Main Street. Doors open at 9 a.m., first whistle at 10. Yours truly will be on the microphone. I will be the PA person and doing all the announcements and having fun. So if you want to do something a little different, little family fun, come on up there on Sunday, November 9th. Some women's roller derby. All right. Thank you, John. All right. Val, should we tee up some announcements real quickly?
I think we should. I think that you probably have a little bit of a visual, don't you, for Rose Floats?
Well, I don't know if yes and no. John, if you'd please bring up the first one. Kiwanis Rose Float, first annual golf tournament. We're going to run the crawl at the bottom of the screen. The first annual Rose Float Club Golf Classic will be held on Thursday night, March 5th, with our pairings party. Sunday, March 6th is the actual golf tournament. And this is to raise funds specifically to help support the Rose Float Club and all that they do. Of course, within the Kiwanis world, we all know what important venture this is, not only for the visual of the float for Kiwanis, but the 10 plus floats that the Kiwanis organization, Rose Float Club, supports in building for the annual Rose Float parade that is on TV to somewhat 60 gazillion, thousands of millions of people that see us. So go to Kiwanis Rose Float, annualgolfclassic.com now. Right. Well, not right now. Bring up another window or do it after 1 o'clock Eastern or, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Hey, guess what? Start registering. If you're a business, we got options for corporate sponsors. We have golf foursomes. You can get a whole sponsor, whatever you'd like. And where's it going to take place? The Brookside at the Rose Bowl Golf Course, right in the shadows of the beautiful Rose Bowl Stadium is going to be right there. So that is going to be Friday, March 5th and 6th. And then, not to be outdone, because I ain't flying from California back to Virginia Beach and flying back the following week. John, bring up the other crawl if you would, please. There you go. Kiwanis Club of Marina Golf Classic will be taking place Thursday the 12th and Friday the 13th. I know it's Friday the 13th, but that's okay. It's going to be a lucky day. You know why? Because we're going to have a great time at the Bayonet Black Horse Golf Course. That is signed, sealed, and delivered. We are ready to rock and roll. Same thing. Go to that website. If you want to golf, you want to be a corporate sponsor, we need you all in order for that event to be successful. So, Kiwanis Club of Marina Golf Classic.com or Kiwanis Rose Float Club First Annual Golf Classic. Man, these titles are so long. The bottom line is
it's 10 times fast.
no, I will not, because I will mess it up. I guarantee you that. But anyway, listen, the bottom line is if you check it out, Kiwanis Rose Float Annual Golf Classic.com, Kiwanis Club of Marina Golf Classic.com. We are guaranteed. Listen, if you go to the Rose Float Club, there's about 15 celebrity athletes from Willie Gault to Kellen Winslow to who else is going to be out there? I don't know, Brian Hunter, Brian Jordan. These athletes I've already confirmed. And we so far for Marina, we got Jeff Garcia confirmed. We're working on Ron Rivera to confirm. We're working on Herm Edwards to confirm. So we got a great slew of celebrity athletes. And guess what? Yours truly is the celebrity MC. So I'll be out there for both tournaments. But don't go for me. Go to support the events. All right. So a lot going on in the Kiwanis world. And with that, Val, I'll turn it back to you.
So one of the reasons why we do this, and some people say, wow, they talk about these events. And it's like, yeah, because that's what makes Kiwanis exciting. And so if you've got an event out there that you would like to have marketed and advertised, put it on Kiwanis Connects. We get so many views every single week. And a lot of these people are not Kiwanians yet. And I say yet because when we have these kind of events, and the events like Judy, you were doing, where you popped up the tent, that brings people to the table and say they want to do this. And so as Lieutenant Governor, you did something really unique this weekend that I haven't seen other lieutenant governors do. So can you explain your whole marketing process?
I truly believe that we just really, it's about getting our name out there, and people won't know about us if we're not out there with them.
Mhm.
And I also believe you never know what seeds you're planting. I kind of believe in the theory, cast your net wide and see what you can pull in. So I love to go out into the community, and I call it my information booth. And basically it's a pop-up canopy, a table, and my banner that says Kiwanis, my tablecloth that says Kiwanis. I take candy because everybody loves candy. I buy a few things off of Kiwanis International, pins, cups, tote bags, whatever, because people love to come over and ask, well, what's Kiwanis all about? And I have a little spinning wheel they can spin, and they'll win a pin, they'll win a sticker. So they may not know what Kiwanis is about, but they're leaving my table with a sticker of Kiwanis or a magnet for the refrigerator that says Kiwanis. But I also, at that time, I have brochures and I'll talk to them. But it's just about getting out there and building that relationship with your community so that the next time I go out into that community, they're going to go, oh, yeah, we talked to you last time, or you were out here before. So, for example, this past weekend, I was at a health fair. I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, but it was a community-wide event. One of my clubs was out there with their K kids, and they were doing something, and I put my table up out there, had free books to give away, my little free library sample. But parents were coming up to me asking, well, what's Kiwanis about? And I was able to tell them, and I was able to give their child something, which, always goes over well. And I don't mean that to sound like I'm a salesperson or anything like that, but I sincerely want to build relationships with my community. And I love people. I love to talk. And this is a great way to do it. You're just out there with the table, handing out things, answering questions, encouraging people as they come, and just telling them what we're about. So I love doing information tables. I love traveling. I'll pop up my tent wherever I can go.
There's nothing like the one-on-one connection and conversation and sharing what we do, because I'm tired of telling people we are not an Australian Airlines, okay? That's what we're not. Anyway, all right, Doc Val, we're going to change gears very quickly because we're down to less than 10 minutes already. Are we ready for some wow and on the road stuff?
Absolutely.
All right, John, let's hit it. Let's go wow first. All right, take it away.
Woo! So many people don't realize this, but I actually went to high school in Riverside, California, and it was an ag high school. And so when I ended up at UC Berkeley, it was because of Kiwanis that I was actually able to finish my 4 degrees, and my degree in the time period that I was there. And so yesterday I went to the Kiwanis Club of Riverside's actual club meeting because they're sponsoring a brand new club in Jurupa Valley that we're growing. And there was a gentleman there. He said he had been around for 56 years, and he was telling me all the stories about how amazing he was. And I realized I recognized him. And so my big wow moment was when I got to stand up and say, I'm here for 2 reasons. One is to thank you because I wouldn't be a doctor today without this Kiwanis Club, because that was the club that gave me my scholarships that paid the difference so that I didn't have to couch surf with friends. And I said, and this gentleman right here who is telling me all about his speech contest was the person that handed me a check for my first speech contest. And he doesn't remember me, but I remember him. And all of a sudden, it was like he just looked at me. And I said, yes, I'm the first African American kid to be the California state champion for impromptu and extemporaneous speaking. And that is because of the speech contest that you ran. And that was the wow. He never realized that I was that little black girl that
Wow.
he made a difference in their life, but you could see the transformation in him. So knowing that we, as Judy started at the top of the hour, you never know who you impact, and you can truly impact so many people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great story. All right, let's hit it, John. Val on the road next. Maybe, possibly.
Oh.
Now
Wow.
we're
Oh, I wish I was looking like that in a cute sporty car. No, I out on the road right now and trying to open 7 Kiwanis clubs in 3 months. And so I am doing a shout out that if you are ready to invite members into the Kiwanis world, we will show up. I will show up. Bob Pryor, all the people will show up because there are so many kiddos and so many people in our communities that need us. And so right now we're in Jurupa Valley. We'll be opening a club in Las Vegas. There are Kiwanis Voices clubs that are opening up all over the place. And we're helping Kiwanis revitalize and get re-energized. So that's Val on the road. So
All right.
I think we have a mental health moment, don't we?
Oh, we're going to go do that. Or I wasn't sure if we were going to get it in on time, but I guess we will. All right. Mental health moment with Melissa. Here.
You're not the only one feeling like this, even if it feels that way. So many people are silently struggling every day and feel alone. Let's be louder than the stigma. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Thank you, Melissa Atwell. As always great messages with Melissa. We greatly appreciate it. All right, we're going to have to get through this relatively quickly. So before we get started with the normal round of jokes, as always, Judy is forearmed with a couple of jokes to get us started. All right, Judy, get us kicking. Here we go.
All right, these are all Halloween jokes. And what is a vampire's favorite Halloween candy? A sucker.
Here's the ironic thing. On my list, I actually had that one highlighted too.
It's a winner. Winner.
That's all right.
Okay, so I have a couple more if I need to redeem myself. But
give me one more.
What do skeleton dogs eat?
Bones.
Milk bones.
Milk bones. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, John, let's hit the intro. All right, I got mixed bag of jokes. I got the remnants of the rest of my Halloween jokes, and I've got some time-changing jokes. So I'm going to go back and forth. Here you go. What room does a ghost not need in their house? What room does a ghost not need in their house? If you said the living room,
The living room.
correct. There you go. Thank you, John. Why
I
do
almost
ghosts?
said that.
Not like that one. I'm off and running. Why do ghosts make the best cheerleaders? Why do ghosts make the best cheerleaders? Because they have a lot of spirit. Really? I thought that was pretty good. Oh my goodness. Okay. So from Claudia on your end, she sticks it. She could have gone on camera to say this, but instead she put it in the chat room. Why did the skeleton not go to the party? He had nobody. He had nobody to go with.
Oh, Ray, that was awesome because Chuggy says that was a Ray joke. Nice job.
Oh, that was Ray. All right. Hey, why don't mummies take time off? Why don't mummies take time off?
Because they're all wrapped up.
No, because they're afraid to unwind. All right, what did one clock say to the other during daylight saving time? What did one clock say to the other during daylight saving time?
See you later.
You go ahead, I'll fall back. Oh, I hear the laughter in the background there. I got you. What does a clock do when it's What does a clock do when it's hungry? It goes back 4 seconds. Hey, as always, I didn't say they were good jokes. What do you get when you cross a vampire and a snowman? What do you get when you cross a vampire and a snowman? You get frostbite.
Okay, you probably have one more of those really bad ones, don't you?
You didn't like that one? Man.
That was but you
Come on, I
hit
thought
the
that
mark
was
though
good. All
several
right,
times.
All right, then you know what? You're leaving me no choice but to finish up with my time jokes. I got rid of the rest of the Halloween jokes. Here you go.
Just one more because we're almost done. Are you amazed at how fast time has gone?
Well, that's all right. Listen, you and I pay the bills. If we have to extend, we're good. What's the clock's?
Oh, that's true.
What is the clock's favorite movie during daylight savings time? What is the clock's favorite movie during daylight savings time? If you said Back to the Future, you'd be right. Last one. You asked for it. Daylight savings time, the only time when procrastination feels justified. You get an extra hour to delay things. There you have it. That does it for this week's edition of Really Bad Dad Jokes. Goodbye. You're done. Oh, I got 3 points. All right, that does it for me. All right, Doc Val, take it away to wrap us up. so to speak.
So this show has really brought back some amazing memories for me. It's like if you haven't chosen to be a lieutenant governor, then I don't know how you couldn't have been inspired by having Miss Judy here. I had the opportunity to be a lieutenant governor 5.5 terms, because it is the best job. And it's not that I'm a slow learner. It is that when you can figure out how to bring people together to help children stay children, how magical is that? So that's what we're all about. And if you're not a Kiwanian yet, please join us. Join us anywhere in the world. And so, Aaron, I'm going to toss the ball back to you.
Absolutely. Judy, thank you for taking time with us today. Hopefully you're not scarred for life with my bad dad jokes.
No, not at all. I have a husband.
That's
he
perfect.
He tells worse ones. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you back there. And to everybody in the behind the scenes there with you, Doc Val, hello to them all back there. Miss you all. We'll see you guys soon. All right. So with that, just a quick programming note. Tomorrow, Aaron's Hour will not be live. We're going to re-air last week's show where we had Caitlin Dawson from the apprenticeship program from Tidewater Community College. So enjoy that rerun tomorrow. Remember, on the 2nd, go to dbtv.tv for the new airing location there, as well as going on back to Facebook or YouTube on any of our channels to catch up on today's show, any previous show. We're expanding. Now's the time to jump. If you want information to get a jersey, or you want information about getting a commercial done for your club, or you want information regarding how to become an advertiser, it's all the same email, kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. With that, everybody, as always, first of all, be safe tonight if you go out trick-or-treating. If you want to trick-or-treat, but you don't know where to go, you don't want to be somewhere in your neighborhood, go to a local nursing home, assisted living complex. They love company. Go out there, put smiles on their faces as well. Be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. Have a great week from everybody here at Kiwanis Connects. Thank you for watching. This show is adjourned.
All right, we're clear.